Welcome. Tonight, we embark on a gentle journey through time, traveling back to the mystical land of ancient Egypt. A world of pyramids, golden sands, and stories whispered by the winds of history. You can close your eyes if you like and let your body relax and feel the warmth of a peaceful Egyptian night where the stars hang like glittering jewels over the desert. Take a deep breath and imagine the sound of the Nile flowing slowly and steadily, just as it has for thousands of years, nourishing a civilization that rose along its banks, a place where the sky meets the earth, where the sands hold ancient secrets. In this story, we won't rush, no. We'll let each moment unfold like a soft breeze passing over the river. You are safe. You are here. And soon you'll drift into a peaceful sleep. Chapter 1: The Enigmatic Pyramids. Have you ever seen a pyramid in your mind's eye? Picture this: towering triangles of stone standing against the vast horizon, silent and tall, as though they're watching over the world. The pyramids were not just tombs for kings, they were stairways to the stars. The Egyptians believed in life after death, and they wanted their journey to the afterlife to be nothing short of grand. Our story begins at Giza, where the great pyramid of Pharaoh Khufu stands. The air here is warm yet calming, with a gentle breeze carrying the scent of earth. The workers, hundreds of them, move in perfect harmony, like the ticking of a clock. Each stone, heavier than a car, is lifted by hand. How did they manage it, you wonder? They didn't have cranes or machines. Just sheer will, patience, and love for their Pharaoh. Close your eyes and imagine the sensation of touching one of those cold stones, carved from quarries hundreds of miles away. It's smooth, ancient, and carries the echoes of thousands of lives who built this wonder. The pyramid rises so high, it seems to touch the sky. And when the sun sets, painting the horizon in shades of gold and crimson, the pyramids seem to glow as if it's alive with the energy of the earth itself. They say pyramids hold mysteries. Did you know that deep inside the pyramid there's a secret chamber? Imagine walking slowly down the narrow, dark passage, your footsteps quiet on the stone. It feels peaceful, as though you're walking into the heart of history itself, where every breath you take feels like you're inhaling a piece of the past. Chapter 2: Mummification, a gentle art. Let's move gently now into a different part of Egypt, a sacred art of mummification. Though it might sound mysterious or even a bit eerie, think of it as an ancient form of love, where the people of Egypt believed that the body must be preserved for the soul to journey into eternity. Picture a peaceful temple, dimly lit by flickering oil lamps. The air smells of incense, sweet and calming, like a warm hug from your senses. In the middle of the temple, the priest works carefully, their hands slow yet deliberate, wrapping the body of their loved pharaoh with linen. Each layer of cloth is like a blessing, a prayer whispered to the gods above. Imagine the soft rustle of linen as it's wrapped over and over in a loving embrace. They would place amulets, tiny charms of protection, between the layers, like tucking someone in for a long, restful sleep. They even left a small scarab beetle near the heart, a sign of transformation. Every movement, every touch was filled with devotion. Now imagine that you are floating gently through time, watching as the priests place the body in a golden sarcophagus. A pharaoh's journey into the afterlife has now begun. But there is no fear here, just peace, like the feeling of drifting off into sleep, knowing that you are safe and that you are protected. Chapter 3: The Magic of Papyrus. We move now to the banks of Nile once again, where the tall, graceful stalks of papyrus grow. Papyrus was the lifeblood of communication in ancient Egypt. From these plants, the Egyptians made paper, soft, smooth sheets that carried their thoughts, dreams, and prayers to the future. Imagine the sensation of running your hand over a fresh piece of papyrus. The texture like that of a soft, delicate leaf. The scribes, wise and gentle, would dip their brushes into ink and with steady hands draw hieroglyphs, the sacred symbols of their language. Each stroke, each mark was like a dance, telling the stories of gods, kings, and the very universe itself. The Egyptians believed that words had power, that writing them down could capture a thought or a dream and keep it safe forever. So imagine, as you rest, that your own thoughts are being written on a piece of papyrus, safe and protected, ready to carry you into the dreams of the night. The papyrus sheets were rolled and stored carefully, waiting for the next generation to find them, just like you, waiting to wake up, refreshed and ready to discover something new tomorrow. The scribes were patient, knowing that their words would last long after they were gone, like whispers carried on the wind. Chapter 4: The Stars Above and the Gods Below. Finally, let's look up. Let's look up to the stars that stretch across the night sky, much like they did over the Egyptian desert so many centuries ago. The Egyptians believed that the stars were souls of the departed, guiding them home, shimmering like diamonds on a velvet cloth. Picture them twinkling softly above you, as if they're watching over you. The gods, too, were everywhere, kind and mighty beings like Ra, the sun god, who carried the sun across the sky each day, or Nut, the sky goddess, whose arms embraced the entire earth. There was Isis, a motherly figure who cared for all those who were lost or hurting, and Osiris, who waited in the afterlife to welcome souls with open arms. Imagine these gods are with you right now, their presence as soft as a breeze, as gentle as the touch of a loved one. They're here to protect you, to calm your mind, and to ease you into the peaceful rest you deserve. As we come to the end of our journey tonight, take a deep breath one more time. Feel the warmth of Egypt's sun still with you, the softness of the sand beneath your feet, the cool touch of ancient stone, and the gentle embrace of history itself. You are safe here. You are at peace. And when you wake up, you will carry the calm of this journey with you into the day. Good night, and may you dream of golden sands, pyramids touching the stars, and the ancient wonders whispering their stories to you. Imagine yourself drifting along the gentle flow of the Nile, the warm golden sun slowly setting behind the towering temples. The air is soft, the breeze tender, and the only sound you hear is the soft rustling of the papyrus along the riverbanks. Tonight, we're embarking on a serene journey tonight across the vast sands of time to explore the reigns of Egypt's most iconic rulers. Let's relax. Let's take a deep breath and feel the weight of the world melt away as we enter the peaceful world of the Pharaohs. Chapter 1: The Reign of Ramesses II, the Great Builder. Our journey begins with Ramesses II, often called Ramesses the Great. Can you see him? A mighty figure with eyes that seem to see far beyond his time. His reign was one of the longest in Egyptian history, lasting 66 years. But here we won't rush through the facts. We'll glide through his story like the peaceful Nile. Picture Ramesses standing at the grand construction site of the temples at Abu Simbel. The sound of chisels tapping against stone echoes softly in the background as the sun warms the faces of the workers. Ramesses wanted these temples not only to showcase his greatness, but to bring harmony and protection to Egypt. Imagine the immense statues carved in his likeness, towering over the Nile, watching protectively over the people like a guardian of peace. Ramesses also faced battles, but let's not dwell on the wars today. Instead, imagine him seated on his throne after a famous battle of Kadesh, signing what is believed to be one of the world's first peace treaties with the Hittites. Feel the sense of calm as two powerful leaders set aside their weapons and shake hands, sealing a promise of peace and coexistence. Ramesses, strong yet compassionate, was not only a king, but a protector of balance. Chapter 2: Hatshepsut, the queen who became king. Now we gently travel to a time when Egypt was ruled by a woman who wore the crown of a king. Close your eyes and picture Hatshepsut, a figure of grace and confidence. She wasn't just a queen, she declared herself Pharaoh and ruled Egypt for over 2 decades. She imagined herself as the daughter of the gods, and in her reign, she brought prosperity and peace to her people. Let's wander with her in the beautiful fragrant gardens of her temple at Del Erbari. The temple, nestled against the cliffs of the Nile, shines with tranquility. In the quiet, the temple's columns seem to hum with stories of divine inspiration. Hatshepsut's reign was not filled with war. No, no, no. She was a visionary, sending out great expeditions to distant lands like Punt, bringing back treasures and perfumes. Imagine the excitement and wonder of her people as ships returned with myrrh trees and golden treasures. Hatshepsut's Egypt was a land of exploration and curiosity, where the calm flow of knowledge was as important as the Nile's waters. Chapter 3. Akhenaten, the Rebel Pharaoh. Our journey now takes us to one of Egypt's most mysterious rulers, Akhenaten, the pharaoh who changed everything. Under the twinkling night sky, we find Akhenaten staring up at the stars, filled with devotion to one single god, Aten, the sun disk. Akhenaten was not like other pharaohs. He believed in Aten as the only god. As he moved the entire capital of Egypt to a new city, Akhenaten, far away from the old ways of worship. It is here, under the warm and radiant sun, that we can feel Akhenaten's peaceful love for his family and his faith. He built his city not for conquest, but for devotion. Can you imagine the bright light of Aten shining down over the city, filling it with warmth and serenity? As we walk the quiet streets of Akhenaten, we see Akhenaten and his beautiful wife, Nefertiti, hands gently intertwined, watching the sunrise. Together, they believed in a world of peace and unity under the warmth of the sun. And in that world, there was no need for war. Chapter 4. Tutankhamun, the Boy King. Now let's glide gently into the life of Tutankhamun, the Boy King. He was only 9 when he became a pharaoh. His rule was short, but his story continues to whisper through the sands of time. Imagine him, a young boy, surrounded by the wise advisors of Egypt, tasked with bringing his people back to the old ways after his father Akhenaten's reign. Tutankhamun's life was one of mystery. The world remembers him not for great battles or monuments, but for the treasures found in his tomb. Now close your eyes and picture his golden mask, a symbol of youth, beauty, and eternal rest. His tomb, hidden in the Valley of the Kings for centuries, was a peaceful resting place. The chambers of his tomb were filled with the finest of gold, but also with serenity of eternal sleep. His story teaches us that even in the midst of uncertainty, there is a calm that follows. As we float gently down the Nile, with the soft glow of the moon reflecting on the water, we can see the legacy of these pharaohs, the builders, the visionaries, the dreamers, and the protectors. Each of them, in their own way, brought peace and balance to Egypt. Feel the gentle rhythm of the river, the calmness of their rains washing over you. Let the stories of Ramesses and Hatshepsut, Akhenaten and Tutankhamun remind you that in history, as it is in life today, there are moments of stillness, peace, and tranquility. Let your mind rest like the great pharaohs in their eternal sleep, knowing that even the greatest of empires, calmness reigns supreme. Good night, and may the peaceful sands of ancient Egypt lull you into a restful, deep sleep. Close your eyes and picture yourself standing on the banks of Nile, a soft breeze ruffling the reeds by the water's edge. The sun is rising slowly, casting a golden hue over the land. The gentle current of the river flows by, timeless and soothing. Welcome to a day in ancient Egypt, a world where life moves with the calm rhythm of the seasons, where people live in harmony with the river that gives them life. Tonight, we'll step back into this world, exploring the simple beauty of daily routines, from farmers tending their crops to artisans shaping treasures. Let your worries drift away as we take this peaceful journey together. Chapter 1: The Farmers of the Nile. Imagine the soft sound of early morning in an Egyptian village. The birds have just begun to sing, and the farmers, wrapped in simple linen, rise with the sun. These farmers, humble yet essential, knew the secrets of the Nile better than anyone. The river was their lifeblood, bringing rich, fertile soil every year when it flooded its banks. After the sun warms the earth, you can picture them walking through their fields, the golden wheat swaying gently in the breeze. Their hands, calloused but skilled, tend to the crops: wheat, barley, flax, knowing that their work provides food not just for themselves, but for all of Egypt. The soft scrape of the hoe, the trickling of irrigation water, all blended into a peaceful symphony of life. There is no hurry in this world, no rush. The seasons guide their pace, and the cycles of the Nile offer a sense of reassurance that tomorrow will come just as it always has. Chapter 2: Family Life, the Heart of the Home. Now imagine stepping into a simple Egyptian home. The walls are made of mud brick, cool to the touch and offering respite from the warm sun. Inside, you find a family starting their day. The mother grinds grain to bake bread, the scent of fresh loaves filling the air. The children giggle as they run around the small courtyard, their laughter light and joyful. Family was the center of everything in ancient Egypt. Can you see them gathered around a low table in the evening, sharing a meal of bread, dates, and honey? The father, perhaps a craftsman or farmer, recounts his day, while the mother hums softly as she weaves linen cloth. The children sit wide-eyed, listening to the stories of gods and pharaohs, tales that stretch back through the ages. This is a world where love and duty bind people together, where the smallest acts, preparing food, lighting an oil lamp, tucking children into bed, create a tapestry of warmth and security. Feel the calm of this ancient home, a place where life's simple moments are celebrated and cherished. Chapter 3: Food and Feast, a Nourishing Life. Let's drift into the bustling marketplaces of Egypt now. The streets are filled with the sounds of vendors calling out, selling their wares, fragrant spices, fresh fruits, and fish caught from the Nile. The people of Egypt love to feast on simple, nourishing foods. Can you smell the rich aroma of stews, the sweetness of figs and dates, and the tangy scent of wine? On festival days, the tables were laden with roasted meats, bread baked with care, and fresh vegetables. The Egyptians appreciated the gift of the earth, but even in times of abundance, they lived in balance with nature, knowing that the Nile's bounty was to be respected and preserved. The rhythm of life was steady and sure, from the baking of bread in the morning to the shared meals under the stars. Each bite, each sip was a reminder of the earth's abundance and the calm assurance that there would always be enough. Chapter 4: Artisans and Craftsmen, Masters of Beauty. As the day continues, we find ourselves among the artisans of Egypt, those who shaped the treasures that still captivate the world today. Picture this scene. In a sunlit workshop, a sculptor carefully carves a statue from a block of limestone. His hands move with practiced grace, chipping away slowly to reveal the beauty hidden within the stone. In another corner, a goldsmith is gently molding a piece of jewelry, perhaps a delicate necklace to be worn by a noble woman. The flicker of the forge's fire dances across the walls. But the atmosphere here is calm, almost meditative. The artisans of Egypt worked not in haste, but with patience and care, knowing that each creation would stand the test of time. Their hands gave shape to the statues of God, the intricate hieroglyphs carved into temple walls, and the simple pots used by families. Imagine the satisfaction of these craftsmen, knowing that their work would bring beauty and meaning to the lives of their people. Their quiet focus reminds us that in the act of creation there is peace. Chapter 5: Scribes, the Keepers of Knowledge. Now we turn to the scribes, the scholars of Egypt. seated under the shade of a palm tree, with their scrolls of papyrus unrolled before them, their delicate reeds dipped in ink. They record the history of the kingdom, the decrees of the Pharaohs, and the myths of the gods. Picture the quiet concentration on their faces as they carefully draw each hieroglyph, the symbols flowing smoothly from their pens. In a world without modern distractions, the scribes understood the power of words. They were the keepers of knowledge, preserving the wisdom of their ancestors so that it could be passed down through generations. Their work was patient and slow, like the river itself, and it taught them the value of stillness. As you imagine the scratch of their pens on the papyrus, feel the calm that comes with the quiet pursuit of knowledge. In their world, every word was precious, every scroll a reminder of the deep connection between the past and present. Chapter 6: Laborers Building a Legacy. We end our journey by visiting the laborers who built Egypt's greatest monuments: the pyramids, the temples, the tombs of the pharaohs. Imagine them working under the warm sun, lifting stones, shaping bricks, but always with a sense of purpose. The grand projects of Egypt were not hurried. They took time, patience, and the collective effort of many. And yet, even in the labor, there was peace. The workers moved in harmony with the seasons, taking breaks during the hottest hours of the day, resting by the cool waters of the Nile. The stones they lifted, shaped, were not just for the present. They were building something eternal. As we walk beside them, we feel their steady, calm determination. They were part of something greater than themselves, and that sense of belonging brings peace, even in the hardest work. As the day comes to a close, we find ourselves back at the Nile. The sun is setting, casting a soft glow over the river. The farmers return to their homes, the artisans finish their work, and the scribes roll up their scrolls for another day. The people of ancient Egypt lived in rhythm with the world around them. Their days were filled with simple routines, but within those routines, they found meaning, purpose, and peace. As you lay here, listening to the gentle sounds of this ancient world, let the calm of their lives flow into yours. Feel the reassurance of a world where everything has its place, where time moves gently, and where every day is a quiet celebration of life. good night, and may the tranquility of ancient Egypt guide you into a deep, restful sleep. Welcome to a tranquil journey through the timeless realm of ancient Egyptian religion and mythology. Close your eyes and let the calming flow of the Nile guide you through a world where gods and goddesses walked among people, shaping their lives with wisdom and grace. Feel the gentle warmth of the Egyptian sun as we delve into the myths and deities that wove a tapestry of faith and hope in this ancient land. Tonight, we'll explore the divine presence of Ra, Osiris, Isis, Horus, and Anubis, each a beacon of life, protection, and mystery, allowing the soothing rhythm of their stories to ease your mind and fill you with a sense of serene understanding. Chapter 1. Ra, the Sun God. Imagine the first rays of dawn piercing the horizon, casting a golden glow over the ancient land. This light is Ra, the Sun God, revered as the creator and sustainer of life. Picture Ra's radiant journey across the sky in his celestial boat, the bark of millions of years. Each morning, Ra's journey begins in the eastern sky, rising with brilliance to warm the earth. His light is a gentle reassurance that each new day brings hope and renewal. As you envision this sacred journey, feel the calm of knowing that with every sunshine there is a fresh beginning. Ra's eternal light represents the unwavering promise of a new day. In the evening, Ra descends into the underworld, traveling through the dark, tranquil waters of the Turat. Even in the darkness, he prepares to be reborn with the dawn, reminding us that after every night, light returns. Embrace the calm that comes with this cycle, knowing that darkness is simply a time of test and renewal. Chapter 2: Osiris, the god of the afterlife. Now let's turn our attention to Osiris, the benevolent god of the afterlife. Imagine Osiris dressed in his green skin, symbolizing rebirth and fertility, sitting on his throne in the realm of the dead. He is the keeper of the eternal life, guiding souls through their journey beyond. Osiris's story is one of transformation and resurrection. He was once a beloved king who was betrayed and dismembered, but his devoted wife, Isis, restored him with her magic. Picture their reunion, a moment of profound calm and joy as Osiris is reborn, symbolizing the eternal cycle of life and death. Feel the reassurance that Osiris's presence brings, a reminder that life is a cycle of endings and new beginnings. His wisdom and compassion offer solace, especially when facing moments of change or uncertainty. Chapter 3: Isis, the goddess of magic and healing. Next, we meet Isis, the powerful and nurturing goddess of magic, healing, and motherhood. Picture her as a graceful figure adorned with a throne shaped crown and a heart full of compassion. Isis is known for her deep love and unwavering protection. She is the healer who mends the broken, the mother who cares for her children, and the sorceress who harnesses the power of magic. Imagine her weaving spells of protection and comfort, enveloping those in need with her soothing presence. Her story is one of strength and tenderness, reminding us of the healing power of love and the comfort found in nurturing care. Let Isis's gentle spirit guide you to a place of peace and tranquility, knowing that you are supported and cherished. Chapter 4. Horus, the god of the sky and kingship. Now envision Horus, the falcon god, soaring majestically across the sky. With his keen eyes and powerful wings, Horus embodies the spirit of kingship, protection, and divine oversight. He is the son of Osiris and Isis, a symbol of hope and renewal. Horus's watchful eyes are always open, keeping a vigilant eye over the land. Picture his gaze sweeping over the fields, the temples, the homes, ensuring the well-being of the people. His presence represents clarity and guidance, offering a sense of safety and assurance. Feel the calm that comes from knowing that Horus's protective wings are ever around you, watching over you as you rest. His watchful eye is a reminder that you are never alone and that guidance and protection are always near. Chapter 5. Anubis, the god of the underworld and embalming. Finally, we journey to the realm of Anubis, a mysterious god of the underworld and embalming. Picture Anubis as a figure with a jackal's head, standing guard over the sacred process of mummification. His presence is both solemn and serene, guiding souls through their passage into the afterlife. Anubis's role is to ensure that the dead are prepared for their journey to the next world, offering them a safe passage. Anubis's role is to ensure that the dead are prepared for their journey to the next world, offering them a safe passage. Imagine the calm and reverent atmosphere of the embalming process, where Anubis's careful attention ensures that every soul is honored and protected. His guidance through the afterlife offers a sense of peace, knowing that every step of the journey is watched over with care. Let Anubis's presence bring you comfort, reminding you that transitions and changes are handled with reverence and respect. Chapter 6. Daily Life and Rituals, a Sacred Harmony. As we reflect on these divine figures, let's consider how their myths intertwined with daily life in ancient Egypt. Imagine the rituals performed to honor these gods. Incense burning in the temples, offering of bread and wine, and the rhythmic chants of priests. These rituals were not just ceremonies, they were acts of devotion that brought a sense of calm and order to everyday life. The people of Egypt believed that by maintaining harmony with the gods, they ensured the well being of their land and of their lives. Feel the peace that comes from understanding this sacred harmony, where every ritual and prayer was a way to connect with the divine, finding reassurance and guidance through the everyday moments of life. As the night deepens, let the stories of Ra, Osiris, Isis, Horus, and Anubis drift gently through your mind. Their divine presence, their tales of love, protection, and rebirth are a soothing balm for the soul. Let their calming influence bring you tranquility as you prepare to rest. Embrace the knowledge that you are surrounded by a timeless, comforting presence, guiding you through the night with a sense of peace and security. Good night, and may the serenity of ancient Egyptian mythology lull you into a deep, restful sleep.